Outgoing Miami Police Major Delrish Moss just left our CBS 4 News studios. As we reported yesterday, he's been named the new chief of police for the embattled city of Ferguson, Missouri, and their police department. But before he leaves, Moss was honored by his colleagues at the Miami PD and then spoke with the host of Facing South Florida, Jim DeFede, about some of the challenges he's preparing for in Missouri.
A big round of applause and a warm embrace for Miami Police Chief Rudy Yanez as Delrish Moss is cheered by his Miami Police family.
I think I know now what a feeding of marrying off my daughter is going to be.
On Thursday, Moss was named the new police chief for Ferguson, Missouri.
It is a bittersweet moment for me. I'm going to miss you. I trust your judgment, your character, and your integrity. And that's always something that will be missing in my life from you. I'm very proud of you. I know that you're going to be an outstanding police chief, and I look forward to your future success.
After the ceremony at the Miami Police Department, Moss came to CBS 4 to tape a segment with me for my Sunday show, Facing South Florida, where we discussed the challenges facing him as he takes over a police department that was at the epicenter of racial unrest following the police shooting of 18-year-old Michael Brown on August 9th, 2014.
I think the biggest challenge is to change sort of a culture, if you will, both from the community's perspective and from the police department's perspective. You know, this is a community that was 99% white at one point, and then suddenly there was a change, and now it's 70% black. And one of the things I noticed while I was out there was a clear divide in the perception of how services are received, the perception of how the police react to people. I noticed that with some of the community
reacted
panels.
in a bad way, the interaction? And
well, a lot of the white people had a very good perception of the police department and the police officers there, and a lot of black people obviously did not. And so we've got to figure out a way to make it so that everyone has a good perception.
Could you not say that, though, about Miami? In many ways, could you not say that whites tend to have a more positive view of the police force here in Miami?
That's true, and that's actually true not just in Miami, but that's true nationwide. And I think that's one of the things that Ferguson is going to offer as far as the challenge is concerned, because if we can start to make some positive inroads there, I think that will sort of be a seed that will plant good fruit.
Now, Delrish will begin planting those seeds on his first day as chief in Ferguson, which will be May 11th.
And he's got his work cut out for him. But
he does.
It's more than just hiring African-American officers. Obviously, he's got to do that when he gets there right away.
Well, let's just sort of deal with that for a quick second. You know, obviously, that's a town of 21,000 people. They have a police force with only 3 African-Americans on it and only 2 women female officers. So, you know, clearly he understands that there's either something wrong with that department in terms of its hiring practices or how they perceive it to not want to work there. So that's one thing. But he needs to bring in people that are more reflective of the community and then make that community be more invested in his police department.
Well, you know, from what we've seen here, we've known him for so many years. If anybody can do it, Delrish Moss can do it.
He's perfect for this job.
Okay. All right, Jim, thanks a lot. Look forward to your show.